Hi, my name is Peyton Waldrop, and this is my on-call binder for cognitive communication disorders. My first section is attention. I have my preventative materials. I have a couple of different ones. 15 strategies for managing attention problems. My assessment that I found for this section is the Moss Attention Rating Scale, the MARS. And I have several activities. My first one is Sushi Chef, finding a displaced image. And I have medium and hard levels for that. I also have a 2-timing activity, which I can select which video that they need to watch depending on their severity level. And it will kind of tell them what they're looking for and what they need to be doing during the video. And I have easy, medium, and hard level tasks for that. My next is called Seize the Keywords, and it's different texts where they are paying attention to the verbs and then putting them in order based on how they were presented. I have easy, medium, and hard for that as well. And then I have my first culturally diverse activity for my attention section, and this just kind of explains why it is suitable for this population. So this activity, they're basically just labeling safe and unsafe scenarios. I also have a severely impaired activity for the attention section. My next section is memory. Here are my preventative materials for this. I have 12 ways to keep your brain young. And I also have memory loss prevention, 5 tips from a certified senior advisor. I have an assessment for this portion called the GOAT. It's the Galveston Orientation and Amnesia Test. And then I have several activities. My first one for memory is culturally diverse, and it's for the Spanish-speaking population and gives you a little reasoning for why. Basically, they are trying to remember certain things from different scenes that are presented to them. And there are several scenes. My next activity is called memory wallets. So they could make memory wallets that could be helpful for them. I also have some blank templates with pictures. I have a reading a calendar activity where they're going to answer questions about a pre-planned calendar for the month of May. And then for severely impaired, I have a daily journal. Today's date is what I did today, who I saw today, and how I felt. I have another severely impaired activity for memory, and it's names to photos, working on remembering names of people. My third section is executive functioning. My prevention material is a self-made resource here. I just made a little infographic. I have 2 different assessments that I found for executive functioning. The first one is the EFPT, Executive Function Performance Task. And I also have the FARS. I have several activities for executive functioning. My first one is called Stacking Pumpkins. I have easy, medium, and hard differentiated activities for that. And then my next activity is my third, culturally diverse, and it explains who this is for and why. And this population is also, or this culturally diverse activity is tailored also to the Spanish-speaking population. I have a severely impaired task for executive functioning that is an escape room activity. They have to solve a puzzle, matching certain images to a decoding system to break out. All right, my fourth section is my language section. I have some prevention materials from the Learning Center here that just gives some tips on how to keep your language skills sharp. All right, my assessment for the language portion is the language cognitive communication evaluation. All right, and then I have my activities. This first one is called split words, where basically they're just putting different word segments together and they're given a category. I do have easy, medium, and hard tasks for that as well. I also have a holiday words edition. If your client were to celebrate a certain holiday, this could be a way to bring some of that holiday joy in while practicing their language skills. I have easy, medium, and hard for that. All right, and my next activity for language is a common object labeling activity. Also, if they're really struggling with maybe some common objects in their personal environment, whether that be a skilled nursing facility or a hospital, I have a blank template here too to utilize if they need to work on maybe some specific objects that are around them. My last section is the visuospatial awareness. My prevention material is 6 ways to improve your visuospatial intelligence and increase your EQ. My assessment is the clocks and executive functioning, an executive clock drawing task. I also have the MOCA, the Montreal Cognitive Assessment. My first activity is right here, where they are just finding the path. And I have several different images for that they can practice that. I also have a severely impaired activity for this, where they are matching the number of objects to images. I have another severely impaired activity where they are trying to like strike out certain images, and it'll tell you which image in the corner. I have another one where they are basically saying if the image is identical or different. So those are all of my activities for visuospatial. And then lastly, I have my references. Thank you so much for tuning in.